Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and today I'm thrilled to present an extraordinary collection of rare vintage Tissot-Dupont gold dust lacquered lighters that embody the pinnacle of craftsmanship and luxury. Amongst connoisseurs of fine cigars, an Tissot-Dupont lighter is not merely an accessory, it's essential. The unmistakable ping when opening an Tissot-Dupont lighter signals the beginning of a moment of indulgence. These lighters transcend functionality, becoming works of art steeped in history and representing the very best of French craftsmanship. Today I'm excited to showcase what may be the most significant collection of gold dust lacquered lighters from Tissot-Dupont ever assembled. Before diving into the unique qualities of each of these remarkable lighters, let's take a moment to appreciate how Tissot-Dupont first came to embrace the art of lacquering, a tradition that has become a hallmark of their brand. Tissot-Dupont was founded in 1872 by Simon Tissot-Dupont in Paris, originally specializing in high-quality leather goods, particularly luxury travel cases. Over time, the company expanded into other luxurious accessories like lighters, pins, jewelry, establishing itself as a preeminent manufacturer of these accessories. From the very beginning, craftsmanship was at the heart of the company's ethos. Whether it was leather travel goods or metal accessories, Tissot-Dupont has always been committed to traditional techniques, ensuring their products are unmatched in quality. This philosophy endures today in their masterful engraving and intricate lacquering processes that we find in their lighters. Among the techniques that define Tissot-Dupont's heritage, none are, in my opinion, as historically significant as their tradition of Chinese lacquering. This ancient art form, dating back itself over 7,000 years, has been passed down through generations, and its journey into Tissot-Dupont's workshop was quite serendipitous. You see, in 1935, Lucien Dupont posted an advertisement in a local Parisian newspaper seeking a metal plater for their workshop in Paris. But due to a fortuitous typo, the ad instead read that the company was looking for a metal lacquerer. By chance, Georges Novosiltsev, a Russian immigrant and master lacquerer, responded. Novos, as he was affectionately known, was hired as Tissot-Dupont's first master lacquerer. He introduced the ancient technique of Chinese lacquering onto metal, a tradition that has flourished at Tissot-Dupont ever since. The tradition of lacquering has been passed down uninterrupted through generations of artisans at Tissot-Dupont, and today, Tissot-Dupont's master lacquerer Johann Vivad is its custodian. Having learned his trade from the previous master lacquerer in 2004, Viard's skills and dedication were formally recognized in 2018 when he was decorated with the Order of Chevalier des Arts et des Lettres in 2018 by the French Minister of Culture. The order is intended to acknowledge people who have distinguished themselves by their creations in the artistic or literary fields, or by the contribution to the influence that they have brought to the influence of arts and letters in France and in the world. Today, Johann ensures that everything that passes through the Tissot-Dupont factory upholds the firm's rich tradition of craft and high standards of excellence. In 2023, whenever I first learned that I would have the opportunity to travel to Cuba with the Sahakians, it was a momentous occasion, and I knew I needed to mark it with something truly special. That's when I acquired my first Tissot-Dupont Line 2 gold dust lighter. I remember Edward Sahakian speaking fondly of the gold dust lacquered lighters, his personal favorite. The gold flakes set against the dark lacquer remind me of stars scattered across the night sky, a subtle yet captivating beauty that drew me in. And in many ways, the decision to purchase an Tissot-Dupont lighter to memorialize that event evokes the tradition that has existed amongst Tissot-Dupont and their lighters for generations, of fathers gifting them to their sons, or of gentlemen gifting them to themselves to recognize moments of particular significance. One of the aspects that excites me most about Tissot-Dupont is that they not only continue to create modern masterpieces, but also have a historical catalog of stunning vintage pieces, many of which are still available in exceptional condition. These vintage lighters offer collectors the opportunity to own something not represented in the company's current catalog, something that is truly unique. Here at KirbyAllison.com, we're fortunate to work with a vintage dealer who sources like-new vintage lighters for us. Today, I've assembled what is perhaps the most significant collection of vintage Dupont gold dust lacquered lighters ever pulled together. This collection represents the original gold dust series from the 1980s with lacquering techniques that have not been seen in Dupont's collections for decades. So without further ado, allow me to put on some gloves and we're going to walk through these pieces and what makes them so special. First up, we have a vintage 1980s Dupont 24 karat gold finish black lacquered lighter, line 2. Now this lighter right here is exceptionally special because of its lacquering technique. This stunning lighter was created in the 1980s and exemplifies the rare LD series. Preserved in really a like-new condition, it's a complete set which makes it highly desirable for collectors. Its meticulous craftsmanship and luxurious 24 gold trim finish showcases the prestige of Dupont's brand during this era. What I like about this lighter is the simplicity of the solid black lacquering set against the contrasting bright gold trim. Although it may seem simple, especially when compared to the rest of these gold dusts, this lacquering technique that covers the entire lighter around the edges itself, not just the flat surfaces, is actually exceptionally difficult to master. One of the other things I like about it, again, is the slightly smaller design. This is without question significantly smaller than the current line 2 lighters, which I think is another characteristic that makes this lighter so special. It's not going to feel too large in your pocket. An absolutely beautiful lighter. And you can see, although it's not completely full, it still lights. And this actually has a lighter nozzle that comes out at an angle. This lighter would have traditionally been used for pipes, but it is a perfect example of a lighter that would certainly light your cigar in style. Up next, we have a vintage 1980s Dupont 24 karat gold finish, black lacquered, gold powdered line 2 Gatsby lighter. That is a mouthful, but so is this lighter visually. It is an absolutely stunning masterpiece. This exquisite vintage Dupont lighter features a 24 karat gold finish and black lacquering adorned with gold powder. It is a striking example from the rare Gatsby series. Crafted in the 1980s, this lighter is a complete set which adds to its uniqueness and appeal as a highly desirable collector's piece. Remarkably, this particular item remains in pristine, unused condition, rated A++ for its near-new quality. What truly sets this lighter apart is the meticulous craftsmanship involved in its creation. Each piece required 3 to 4 months to complete, involving countless hours of handwork. The handmade nature of these lighters ensures that no two are exactly alike, with subtle variations in the details making each one a unique work of art. These lighters were only made to order, with customers prepaying before Dupont would begin manufacturing the Line D model in gold trim and black Chinese lacquering. Once the lighter body was created, the lighter then traveled all the way to Japan, where master craftsmen applied the finishing touches using the traditional maki-e technique. Now, maki-e is a Japanese lacquering technique that involves painting designs on the lacquer and then sprinkling gold or silver powder on top. The term maki-e literally translates into sprinkled pitcher. If you look closely at this particular lighter, you can see that even relative to the other gold dust lighter examples that I have right here, there is an absolutely stunning detail in this lighter that is a result of that maki-e technique. Not only is it lacquered on the primary faces, but you also see it here on the side and on the top of the lid. And this is an absolutely stunning example of Dupont's commitment to master lacquering and is a beautiful lighter. Another thing I like about this lighter is that relative to many of the Dupont's lighters with lacquering on the cap, it still features an early version of that perfect ping for which Dupont is now well known. Next, we have a vintage Dupont masterpiece, unique cylinder gold-plated Macassar lacquered table lighter. This remarkable Dupont masterpiece is a unique cylinder table lighter featuring gold-plated accents and macassar lacquering, and was originally crafted in the late 1980s. Part of the exclusive limited edition cylinder dual flame taper lighter series, this piece is particularly noteworthy for its substantial weight of 504 grams, offering both a tactile and visual sense of luxury. It is perfectly preserved in pristine A++ condition. This lighter has never been used and is accompanied in its original box and papers, further enhancing its value for collectors. As implied by the name, it has a look of macassar ebony, but this design is actually achieved through the Chinese lacquering process on top of metal. And another thing that I like about this, making it perfect for cigars, is that dual flame. This is an early example of Tissot-Dupont introducing that gold flame into their lighter collection, and is one of the few, if not only, examples of table lighters from Tissot-Dupont that I know of that again feature that dual flame. This is a stunning masterpiece and one that would be a perfect accessory to any fine smoking room. Up next, we have a vintage 1980s Tissot-Dupont Stardust 24-karat gold finish red lacquer lighter. This stunning vintage 1980s Tissot-Dupont Line 2 LD lighter, with its 24-karat gold finish and red lacquering accented with gold powder, is an exceptional example of the gold dust powdered series. Crafted in the early 1980s, this lighter remains a rare and sought-after collector's item. It is complete as a full set. This piece is preserved in its original condition, unused, and rated as an A, further enhancing its desirability for collectors. Each lighter in this series required 3 to 4 months to complete, with artisans investing countless hours of handwork. These lighters were made exclusively to order, with customers prepaying before Tissot-Dupont would begin manufacturing the Line D model. After the initial production at Tissot-Dupont's factory, the lighter then traveled to Japan, where master craftsmen applied the final lacquer using the traditional maki technique, which involved several layers of gold dust and lacquer. Although it may look like a single surface, the lacquering technique could have anywhere between 5 and 8 different layers of lacquering required in order to produce this finish. Again, as a Line D model, it is slightly smaller than the Line 2 lighters that you find today, which I think is actually a feature. And again, just like this solid black one, we see that the lacquering goes all the way around the case of the lighter, including across the edges, which is very rare and a technique that is not currently employed in any of Tissot-Dupont's standard productions. If I were to be honest, looking at these two lighters next to one another, I would even further say that this is a rose gold or slightly pinkish gold versus the yellow gold that we've seen in the other lighters. This again has that angled nozzle, which means that originally this would have been used for pipes, but still today, this is an absolutely stunning example of an Tissot-Dupont lighter, perfect for lighting your favorite habanos. Up next, we have what could be possibly one of the most rare Tissot-Dupont lighters in existence, certainly one with the most difficult lacquering techniques employed to achieve its stunning design. This is a vintage 1980s Tissot-Dupont limited edition 24-karat gold finish eggshell lacquered Line 2. This lighter is an absolutely remarkable example of the incredible lacquering techniques coming out of Tissot-Dupont in the 1980s. It features a 24-karat gold finish and eggshell lacquer and is a rare example from the factory of the eggshell series. Crafted in the 1980s, it showcases the innovative artistry of applying white eggshells, a challenging process perfected by traditional Japanese artisans. The creation of true white lacquer has always posed a challenge to artisans. This technique, which uses small pieces of white eggshells from a specific bird species, allows for a unique shade of white that cannot be replicated through conventional means. These meticulously crafted pieces are highly prized by collectors, making them some of the most sought-after Tissot-Dupont lighters in existence. It is accompanied by its original documents. This lighter is in pristine, unused, A++ condition, a true testament to its craftsmanship and rarity. Each lighter in this series required 8 to 12 months to complete, with layers of lacquer carefully applied and polished by hand. The piece also bears the signature of Dupont and the Japanese master craftsman, adding to its value as a collector's item. This particular eggshell lacquering technique, according to Johann, is the most difficult of all to achieve, and one, again, that since the 1980s has not been represented in really any of Dupont's current collections. But I am told by good sources that it is one that Dupont is looking to resurrect sometime in the near future. This is a stunning piece, and I can guarantee you finding an example of a eggshell lacquering is exceptionally rare. Whenever I was touring the Dupont headquarters in Paris, I only saw one example of this lighter, followed by another example in their boutique. This is an extraordinary masterpiece. Now for our final two lighters, it's hard to believe that we're saving the best for last, but in this particular example, we are. Up next, we have a vintage 1980s Dupont 24 gold finish, black lacquered gold dust line 2 lighter. Of the entire collection, this might perhaps be one of my absolute favorites. You can see that it comes as a complete box set, which is amazing to consider that such a stunning example of craftsmanship has remained completely preserved like it currently is. Now this lighter right here is an elegant vintage 1980s Dupont Line 2 LD lighter, finished in 24 karat gold and black lacquering with gold dust accents, and is a standout example from the rare LD full lacquered series. Crafted in the early 1980s, it remains in an impeccable, unused A++ condition. Now, what I love most about this lighter, again, is the beautiful gold dust set against that black, dark lacquering. But as the other lighter in this series that we reviewed first, this has that lacquering technique applied all the way around the lighter itself. So you not only see it on the primary surfaces, but all the way around the lighter, continuing over the edges to the small faces, and even all the way on the cap of the lighter itself. When I showed this particular example to Johann at Dupont, he was very impressed, noting how difficult of a lacquering technique it is to lacquer across the edges of the lighter itself. It is a slightly smaller as part of this LD series than your standard Line 2 from today's collection, but that, in my opinion, is one of the elements that adds to the elegance of this. Again, it has that angled nozzle. This traditionally would have been used just for pipes. This is an absolutely stunning example of Dupont's craftsmanship and one that would honor any cigar. Up next, we have a limited 1980s Dupont Mackie E Gold Dust Lighter signed with yellow natural lacquer. This is an absolutely stunning example of craftsmanship, and it's hard to say that there is a most rare amongst a collection of incredibly rare lighters, but this might be it. This rare vintage 1980s limited first Dupont Mackie Gold Dust Lighter is a true museum quality piece representing the first gold dust lighter ever created by Dupont. Crafted as part of the exclusive Montparnasse line in the early 1980s, it is distinguished by exquisite handcrafted details, including the address 92 Boulevard du Montparnasse on its backside, marking Dupont's Parisian headquarters. Only about 80 of these Montparnasse models were produced, offered exclusively by pre-order to select clients or as a prestigious gift from the CEO of Dupont. This particular lighter is preserved in A++ condition with all its original documents and is a true symbol of luxury and exclusivity. Now, what sets this lighter apart is its signature yellow natural lacquer applied by master artisans using the traditional maquille technique, making it a unique and irreplaceable work of art that honors Dupont's long-standing commitment to craftsmanship and innovation. Furthermore, you can see that this particular lighter is signed by the Japanese artisan that did the lacquering technique on the back, really signifying that this is truly a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Now, this lighter is more consistent with the size that you would find in one of the current gold dusts. But again, if you compare these two, this is the current production and this is the vintage, you can see how this is just an absolutely stunning example of the craftsmanship, that level of craft coming out of Dupont. Again, Still features that perfect ping. So this is just a small sample of the vintage lighters that we offer online at kirbyallison.com, but in its entirety as a collection, probably is the most significant collection of Dupont gold dust lighters ever assembled. These are incredible masterpieces, truly inspiring to see. It's hard to fathom even using one to light a cigar, but I could think of no better way to honor the craftsmanship that went into these lighters than doing so. Now I've got two additional bonus pieces that I wanted to show you that are a part of my personal collection. This is one of Dupont's signature table lighters, again, produced in the 1980s, but not produced today, but with a blue lacquering. Now we have several of these on the website that are solid brass, gold-plated and engraved, but this is the first one I'd ever seen that actually had solid blue lacquering. Table lighters, in my opinion, are particularly special because they embellish one of the characteristics of Cuban cigars that we enjoy so much, which is the opportunity to smoke amongst friends. Next, we have an example of the lacquering process that is a prototype, but this is something that will be coming soon to kirbyallison.com as an exclusive item. This was something that we had created as part of our Dupont factory tour, which is a platinum dust Le Grand Cling. Now this is the first platinum dust Le Grand Cling ever made. This is literally the prototype from the factory that we filmed it being made. But what I like about this is you see examples of gold dust, but you've never seen an example of platinum dust. And that's where the idea for this really came about. That platinum dust really sprinkled on top of that solid black lacquering is something that is just visually stunning. And then we didn't lacquer the cap because the actual production model will still feature that perfect ping for which Dupont is so well known. For those with an astute eye, you may have noticed that this is the Le Grand Cling. So not only does it have that dual soft flame, but it also has that blue flame. So this is really the best of both worlds. So make sure you've subscribed to our channel and to our email list in order to learn about when this is available on kirbyallison.com. It'll be a part of a limited edition, very exclusive series. The first time these will be made just for us. This extraordinary collection of vintage Dupont lighters is more than just a testament to luxury. It's a celebration of timeless craftsmanship, history, and tradition. Much like the art of rolling a fine Cuban cigar, where every leaf is selected with care and every roll perfected by hand, these lighters embody an artisanal tradition that transcends mere functionality. Each piece represents a meticulous process, a devotion to the highest standards of craftsmanship passed down through generations. For cigar connoisseurs, the ritual of lighting a cigar is a sacred moment, an experience where time slows and appreciation deepens. It is only fitting that such a moment be honored with an equally exquisite tool, one that complements the tradition and prestige of fine cigars. Just like Cuban cigars are cherished for their history, heritage, and artistry, so too are these incredible Dupont lighters, revered for their precision, elegance, and storied legacy. Owning a vintage Dupont lighter is not simply owning a luxury object. It's embracing a piece of history, a homage to the world's finest traditions of luxury. Whether you're a cigar aficionado or a collector of timeless objects, these lighters represent the ultimate fusion of function and art, just as perfectly crafted as a fine Habano cigar. In the same way a Cuban cigar connects us to a centuries-old tradition of excellence, these lighters offer us a bridge to the artistry of generations past, capturing the spirit of refinement and the art of living well. For the discerning collector, this collection stands out as an unparalleled opportunity to own a part of that history, a legacy of craftsmanship that elevates every moment of its use. All of these lighters can be found online exclusively at kirbyallison.com, along with the largest collection of luxury garment care and luxury shoe care accessories in the world. Of course, I'm Kirby Allison, and as you all know here on this channel, I love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes while exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. Thank you for watching today's video.